water's full. Is your stinky slinky just not putting out what you're putting down? Is your camper just full of it? We got the product that might help you. We're going to be reviewing the Camco Dual Flush Pro. It's a reverse flush valve, so this will help basically if you have any blockages in your black tank, so your hose is stopped up, nothing's coming out of there. Perhaps you're like me, maybe you got a camper that left you a little something extra in there. So that stuff just hardens up if there's no water in there. It turns into rock. And so, you know, the other way to do it, you know, new campers have flush valves on them that put water in. Of course, you can put water in through the toilet, but if you have like an obstruction in the hose, this is going to be your best bet. So basically it has a gate valve on here and has a thing for a water hose. There's a check valve that comes with it. Be sure to use that. No, I wouldn't use my drinking hose on this, even though theoretically water shouldn't back up because of that check valve. And then there's a selector switch here, which turns it to either off to the tank so the water flushes that way, or to the hose so the water flushes out. So we're going to give you a look at this and see how we use it. It's worked great for me. Alright guys, so for this flush valve just goes straight on your tank where your cover is that your hose attaches to. It just goes in the middle, so it has the valve here. Also comes with this check valve, like I said. And whenever I use this, I always use this hose fitting. That way you can turn the water off and on right here at that source, okay? So then I just have a small hose extension. So that goes on right here. So then what you want to do is you want to open your tank, whichever one that you're filling up. In this case it would be the black tank, so we pull our valve open for our black tank. I do have a little bit in there right now. We're not at a flush station, so I'm not going to do that. But that stuff would, if anything was in there, it would come down to this valve and it would stop. In which case then you would turn the water on and you would turn this selector to tank. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is starting to fill up with water. It's also leaking a little bit here, but that's okay. So basically it fills up with water. There's nowhere for the water to go, so it backs up into the tank. So if there's any obstruction there or anything like that, it'll just push it out of the way, and then hopefully whenever you open the valve up, everything will fall right out. That's about all there is to it. But whenever you get done, you can open this up to let it drain all the way out, and then you can move the selector switch down here to hose, and that way it helps rinse your hose out. So it's a pretty good bargain if you ask me, considering all the other options that I've heard about, you know, fixing tanks that have stuff hardened up in them, like dumping ice in them and driving around, boiling hot water and pouring the hot water down in there. This worked great for me, so hopefully it will for you too. Now I will say, if you're planning on, you know, if you have stuff stuck in there, what I would do is fill the tank up and let the water sit in there for a while. Even if you drove around, say do this at home, drive to the campground and use their dump station before you go camping, and that'll help loosen that up just from the water being in there moving around. Great product.